Hi, so I wanted to make a quick video today just to help you discover your passion and do work that you love. I think a lot of people go into jobs that they're not necessarily excited about, they're not necessarily passionate about because, of course, look, they need to make money, they need to live, they need to work. And a lot of people go into university courses that they're not necessarily excited about, but they feel that they want to go to university and they want to study something. So they go ahead and they just choose a course that's close enough to what they think they like. Or if they're like me, they study business studies. That's what I did. And what I found was when I was in there, a lot of people were on the same sort of page as me. They didn't necessarily know what they wanted to do, so they said, okay, I'll do business studies. Now, I also studied Japanese. I absolutely loved Japanese, but in terms of the business, it was really just, okay, I need to do something. What am I going to do that's going to give me some sort of qualification? And then after that, I went on a journey to kind of find there must be a way of finding a job that I'll really be excited about or find work that I really am passionate about. If I show you these things today, if you watch this video in its entirety, that you will be able to understand a lot more about what's important for you, and I hope that will give you a lot more encouragement and a lot more direction in what it is that you want to do for yourself. So if you don't know what you want to do in your career, or if you don't know what you're good at, that just means you haven't found it yet. So keep looking. This is not about CVs, exam tips, college courses, interviews, strengths or weaknesses. This is about passion. Of course, all of the things I've just mentioned are important, but that is not the focus of this video. So here are a couple of questions for you to maybe write down when you get a chance. Okay, it's good to just look at them and answer them in your head as I speak them out. But if you really want to go deep, you're going to need to write them down, because writing is part of the thinking process. Otherwise, you'll just look at it and say, yeah, I know what that is, and then you'll forget it. Think of the time you couldn't sleep because you were so excited about what you had to work on. What was it, and why were you so excited? Okay, so have a think about that and write it down, as I said. Next, what really excites you in your life at the moment? What really excites you? What is that? Okay, next question. What ideas, issues, or viewpoints do you find yourself constantly arguing or defending with others? And why do you care so much about these things? So, I think that's a really, really strong question. If you're going to pick any of those three, definitely pick that one and evaluate it a bit more. Because people have different things that they're interested in, and then if they find themselves getting into a discussion, an argument, or a debate with somebody about that, you know that this is a real source of passion for them. So, what is that for you? What would you argue about? What would you fight over? What would you discuss with somebody? What position would you like to hold? Now, this is a really, really important thing. A lot of people can go into work for companies, they can go into work for different organizations, but what they find is even though they enjoy the specific work, they enjoy the technical work that they're doing while they're there, there's something about the company, there's something about the organization that's just not working for them. They don't like the way things are done. Sometimes people call that the corporate culture. They don't like the way, the atmosphere, or they don't like what the company represents. And a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times this comes down to like a values conflict. The values of the company are in conflict with the value of the individual. So a really good exercise is make note of your top 5 values. So here's a couple of example values just to sort of help you on your way. Love, health, growth, freedom, integrity, security, and so on. Write down your top 5 values, and then write down in order of priority your top 5 values. So you can change a couple of them around if you want. So what's your highest value? What's your second highest? All the way down to number 5. So you're just making things a little bit more clear for yourself. You can see what's important for you in terms of your values, and then when you go to an organization, you know that that's something you can match to the organization. Okay, do they have similar values? Or can I cope with their values? Can I deal with their values? For example, imagine somebody who's really, really health conscious working for a company who just doesn't respect those sort of lifestyles. Maybe it could be a fast food company if somebody is really interested in nutrition and health and physical fitness and so on and so forth, and then they need to work for a fast food company which doesn't support health as much as other companies would. Okay, they're going to feel a lot better if they work for maybe, a gym type of organization. Here are a couple of more questions for you. What work would you volunteer to do if money was no issue? What do you love helping people with? How do you most commonly help others? And the next question, what do people thank you for? What do they appreciate about you? What are you most worried about for the next generation? how will their lives be different to yours? And again, I think the last question there is a really key question. It's a really strong question. So you're trying to get deeper and say to yourself, okay, think about the next generation, whether you have nieces or nephews or kids, or even just the young people going through schools today. What are you worried about for them? What sort of world will they grow up in? What would you like to see be better for them, or even not be worse for them? And write that down. And hopefully, through this prying and through these questions, you're sort of getting deeper and deeper, and you're getting closer to the things that you really care about, that are really important for you. Let's talk about the 6 human needs. So we all have 6 human needs that we need to meet. Now, we all meet them in different ways, in a positive way, neutral way, or a negative way. So here they are: certainty, variety, significance, love and connection, growth, and contribution. So I'm going to go into a little bit more detail in each of these, and I want you to think about these in terms of your career. So when you get a chance, think of your needs, and ask yourself, in terms of your career, how do you meet these needs on a scale 0 to 10? So 0 is, okay, I don't have this at all, it's really, really terrible. And 10 is, yeah, it's fine, I'm completely meeting this, it's as good as it could be, it couldn't be any better. Here's the first one: certainty. So certainty, code words: comfort, security, safety, stability, predictability, and protection. So do you know where you're going to work? Do you know who you're going to work with? Do you know what work you have to do? And do you know that you're going to get paid? Are you certain about what's going to happen in work? Now, if you only have certainty all the time about everything in your job, it's going to be pretty boring. So you're going to need some variety or uncertainty. That's like fear, thrills, instability, change, entertainment, suspense, surprise, conflict, crisis. Meet them in a good way or a bad way, as I said. So do you have an opportunity to meet new people, to do new types of work, to have a different schedule every day, to do exciting work or to do interesting work? Rate your need for uncertainty and variety on a level 0 to 10. How much of it do you have? Next, significance. So pride, importance, standards, achievement, performance, perfection, evaluation, discipline, competition, respect. Like the other needs, we can meet this in a positive way or a negative way. So we all need to feel important. We all need to feel that we're doing something that makes a difference, that our work means something, that we have a purpose, that we have a mission. So we can feel that on different levels. So think for a second, how do you feel that in your work at the moment? And rate that on a scale 0 to 10, like the other needs. The next one is connection. So connection is like, how much of a relationship do you have with your coworkers, with your boss, and with people below you, people above you, and with the clients you work with, or the different people you meet on a daily basis. Can you build a rapport there? Is there good a relationship there? This is very, very important. So again, mark that on a level 0 to 10 for yourself. The next one is growth. So in your job, do you have the ability to grow, to develop, to learn more, to progress, to move on with your job? And I don't mean just get promoted and have more money, because money isn't everything for everyone. Do you have opportunities to learn more, to go to conferences, to do continuous professional development? Are those opportunities there? So rate yourself on a 0 to 10 in terms of your growth at the moment. Contribution. So in terms of your work, do you have the ability to contribute to the company, to have an input, to teach other people, to share what you're learning with other people? Does your voice matter in terms of your input into the company? So rate yourself on a 0 to 10 for contribution. Now, the important thing about these needs is that we can get them in positive ways, neutral ways, or negative ways. We must meet them. The important thing about these is sometimes we like the technical work of the job that we're doing. We like the company we're working for. We like the people we're working with. But somehow we're just not fulfilled. We're just not really getting what we want out of the work. And often the problem there is everything is going well, but our needs just aren't being met. Now, think about what are your limits and what are your real limits. If somebody says, I can't get a job because there are no jobs, okay, is that a real limit? No, not really. Of course, they know this, factually, that there are a lot of jobs because a lot of people are working already. but they feel somehow there are no jobs for themselves. Now, the problem with this is when they repeat it enough, they start to believe it. And when you start to believe it, what sort of energy does that give you for continuing, in your work? What sort of energy does that give you for actually looking for that job and finding your passion? Probably not a lot of energy. So think about that. What are your real limits? Well, maybe the real limit is, you don't have the time, the energy, or the money to move forward. But then, the more you progress with those, you can kind of think, well, are these real limits, or are there ways to overcome these? I mean, has anyone done it before? Is it a fact that this is a limit? Are there other alternative ways to achieve the same goal? So ask yourself, what's stopping you? What are your limits, and what are your real limits? So what's your focus? Sometimes I can meet people and they're focusing on different types of things. Sometimes they only focus on what they don't have or what they're not good at. And I'm kind of saying, okay, that's fine, but also think, what do you have and what are you good at? So, focus on what you want, focus on the goal, focus on your solution. Don't just worry about the problems all the time. I mean, the problems are going to be there, but you need to focus on the solution if you're going to move towards it. I remember when I was starting to ride a motorcycle, the one thing that I always say to you, like, if you see an obstacle or if you see something you don't want to hit, don't look at it. You need to look at the gap. You need to find your exit from that situation. And it's the same kind of with your problems and with your solutions. You need to focus on the gap, focus on the exit, focus on the solution. If you just focus on the thing you're going to hit, you're just going to drive straight into that. And I learned that lesson the hard way as well. Now, strengths and weaknesses. Okay, strengths and weaknesses. I'm talking about these just to give you my view on these. Strengths and weaknesses are often very important, but the way I see it is, look, if you're going to be passionate about something, if you're going to love something and be excited about it, you're going to get good at it after a while. I mean, you're going to be doing it all the time, and you're going to love doing it. So of course you're going to get good at it. So I don't focus on the strengths first and say, okay, this is what you're strong at, this is what you want to do. I say, what do you want to do, and then let's find out how you're going to get good at it. I think it's a much better way of doing it, a much better way of getting to the end goal. Okay, the first thing you can do is download my free resources and answer the questions, fill them in, and that will certainly get you closer to discovering your passion and finding work that you love. The next one is you can start doing the work you're already interested in. So if you know what it is you're interested in, just start doing it. And then you'll say, okay, is this something I want to pursue further? Is this something that I really like? Have a chat with somebody already doing the work. I mean, they can give you the real insight. They can tell you, okay, maybe the glamorous bits, but the less glamorous bits of it as well. And that's going to be, an interesting conversation. And of course, if somebody's going to help you out, it's always nice to buy them a coffee or give them a gift or something like that. Find people with interesting jobs and model them. So if you see somebody who you think has a really cool job, find out more about them. If you can read their biography, read about them on Wikipedia, YouTube, LinkedIn, whatever it is. Read about what they've done to get where they are, and then, pursue that. See if that's something you want to do as well. There's not many downsides to actually, reading a book about somebody or reading about them on LinkedIn. It's gonna just open up your interest, open up your ideas of what's possible for yourself in terms of your work. And go to the library and read about different subjects. I love this one. It's like, go to the library, you're going to see all the different subjects, they're all in different category areas, and you can see all the different areas that there are. I mean, you're going to start learning about subjects you didn't even know existed. So often we can kind of find ourselves pigeonholed into the same sort of 10 careers, accountant, lawyer, teacher, business person, and so on, and nurse, doctor, and so on. They're all great professions, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying that there's so many professions out there. There's such a wide variety of stuff, that you can just go and see what else is out there. What else would I be interested in doing? So go to the library, and also you'll find if you start reading books about things, you're gonna really see whether or not you're interested in things. Because look, we watch TV about anything. We watch TV shows about things we're not even interested in or we don't even like. But how many people will actually read a book about something they're not interested in? Very few, I imagine. But I think you will read a book about something that you are interested in. That's going to be a really good clue for yourself. Watch documentaries about your areas of interest. Again, another really good way. Documentaries can be very insightful, very interesting, very factual, thought-provoking. So watch a couple of documentaries about the thing that you're interested in. Even if they're not produced well, if you're watching something that's not produced well because you're so interested in it, that's going to be another good sign for yourself that this is an area that maybe you need to pursue a little bit further. And the last one is get in contact with me. So I'm happy to give you a free 15-minute phone call. And after that, if you want to do sessions, we can talk about that. And if there's anything else I can do, let me know. Read the blog. There's lots of great tips there. And I hope this has been of help to you.